Welcome back to our series that explores why She-Hulk is a real masterpiece. If you haven't seen the first video yet, it's linked in the info box down below. What would a great TV show be without a great finale? But since the show so far is full of 1. Exciting storylines that have so much to do with each other as my grandmother has with cryptocurrency, 2. Of characters as complex as the rules of the game tic-tac-toe, and 3. With messages containing similarly high philosophical ideas as a work by Hegel, we are glad that we can take a little breath before the actual finale. Because for 2 full episodes before the finale, nothing happens. Seriously? The screenwriters are unable to come up with an even remotely interesting story? Although 1 episode is only around 30 minutes long, so 9 episodes are only around 4.5 hours anyway? But no. Everything is part of a bigger picture, as we will probably learn sometime in season 8 or 9. I'm so excited. One of the best episodes of the show, episode 6, starts with Jen packing for a weekend trip. She just needs a little break from her normal TV life, which is understandable. I wonder which person would really endure the chaos of this series for longer than a few episodes. In any case, there's a friend's wedding that Jen is attending. Maybe we'll have some time to get to know Jen a little better now? Yes, we do. We learn that she likes to drink, that she likes to be the center of attention, that she likes to drink, and that she likes to be the center of attention. But hey, a little narcissistic disorder never hurt anyone, right? I mean, why should you even be thinking about taking a step back, for example, as not to spoil the day for the bride or something? You only live once. But well, her friend is depicted as such a superficial knucklehead who doesn't really care about anything anyway, so everything is fine and Jen is great. Thank God. Also, Jen finally meets a nice, normal man. Who is he? We don't know yet, but at least he's not a pig. And that's enough to make him likable in this show. But the big question for us is this: does he really like Jen, despite the fact that she's completely wasted all the time, talking about herself only and otherwise not really developing any relationship with him? And why is he not a pig? Anyways, after all, he's a man, right? We have to stay tuned to find out more. So Jen embarrasses herself a little bit at the wedding and has to do some ironing because the men at the wedding got their shirts wrinkled playing video games, and the bride obviously requires her guests to do chores at the wedding. Haha, oh my god, so funny how it's shown how simple-minded, old-fashioned and from another century married women really are across the board. An alternative to this is also pretty impressively presented by the character of Jen. And oh, it's also so funny how clichés are absolutely not used here at all. In addition to all of this, everyone's favorite villain, Titania, shows up again. Is she really evil or just there because she's a bit goofy and stupid and even Jen seems halfway normal next to her? Nobody knows, but it's not that important. Don't ask so many stupid questions and just consume the product, okay? While all this is happening at the wedding, there's also a side story. In Jen's absence, the super lawyer from the previous episodes and Jen's paralegal Nikki have taken over the day-to-day business and are so condescending towards their male clients that one of them just jumps out of a window, which is actually really funny. But yes, how could it be otherwise? The client is a selfish, exploitative old man whose only characteristics are that he is old, selfish, exploitative and a man. Making the characters three-dimensional really has the advantage of bringing out every interesting facet of a person. But it's a good thing that we have 2 other characters who can speak for him and who are obviously not despising him with every fiber of their bodies as a client. How come not every superhero in the world is represented by such a highly professional law firm? During the scenes with the old egoist, which in and of themselves have absolutely no bearing on any overarching plot, but are really funny, a new storyline is very elegantly introduced. It is simply mentioned in one sentence that there is a hate website on the internet that provides a platform for
hateful man babies,
and is obviously about actually killing Jen as She-Hulk because she's female. Pew! Interesting direction the story is headed here. Men in general are no longer just stupid and simple-minded and patronizing, but also really dangerous now. I really am despising men more and more with every episode. Episode 7 is about Jen finally getting closer to the dude from the wedding, only to be dumped by him the next morning. The episode is about how Jen copes with being ghosted. Dignified is definitely a good description. And that's basically it. Oh, but in the end, we find out that it wasn't Jen's fault at all. It was just that the guy was actually a bad guy who only slept with her to make a video of it and copy her data from her phone. Why actually? For her WhatsApp chat history? Okay, actually it wouldn't be surprising with Jen's professionalism that she also has sensitive data on her phone, so it's going to be exciting. Episode 8 starts again with an absolutely unimportant story, with the insightful portrayal of a young man who would like to be a superhero, had a superhero flight suit made by Chance Taylor, but the suit didn't function properly during one of his embarrassing superhero appearances, and the young man now wants to sue Jen's tailor, and Jen has to take the case because the young man has influential parents, and Jen's boss is a dick. A suspenseful dilemma between Jen and her tailor, that's for sure. Will there be a happy ending? I can't wait to find out. Can you? Do you hope there will be many subsequent seasons? Please let me know in the comments down below. In court, the tailor is represented by Daredevil, and the big question is not if he will win the case. Of course he does, because Jen's priorities are absolutely not her job. And why should it be? You have to have some fun too. No, the big question is, can Daredevil save the show? Make the show even more interesting? And yes, it looks like it at first. For example, in this conversation here, in which both appear to be almost on an equal footing. But the next question is, why is the only man in the show who actually likes Jen blind? What beef might be going on here behind the scenes? What did Tatiana Maslany do to the showrunners? Jen doesn't get any matches as Jen, gets dumped by pretty much every man right after the first date. It's almost a bit suspicious. Maybe a personal meta at Marvel? In any case, the same evening after Jen's next appointment with a creepy guy that has no real function but to tell us
men are pigs, right, women?
Jen is needed as She-Hulk again. Her client, the young pseudo-superhero, turned out to be a psychopath after all and has kidnapped a tailor whom he was trying to sue before. We are all wondering by now why this tailor gets more screen time than Wong. What? Jen has to stop the bad guy, and she gets help from Daredevil. Although, sorry, She-Hulk doesn't need any help. She gets support from Daredevil, which isn't quite right either, because Daredevil turns out to be a typical man as well, who knows everything better, and therefore it's up to Jen to show that she as She-Hulk is stronger than a blind man. After the mission is accomplished, things get a little spicy between Jen and Daredevil, and that's the end of the story, and we find ourselves in a new storyline. Because Jen has been nominated for a Female Lawyer of the Year award. Whoa, wait a moment. Female Lawyer of the Year? Why is there a separation between the sexes with such an award? It's not a sporting event or anything, where that kind of separation makes perfect sense. Aren't male and female attorneys expected to perform exactly the same? Isn't it almost discriminatory to divide men and women in two different categories in such professions? Because that basically means that the two sexes cannot compete with each other? But as we learn at the ceremony...
Now tell us, what's it like being a female lawyer?
Twice the work, half the recognition.
I wonder if a slightly passive-aggressive demeanor could be the reason why she's obviously not satisfied with her life. In any case, the ceremony is interrupted when hackers project the sex tape of Jen and the dude, who ghosted her, and who is actually a hacker as well, onto the wall. Anonymous would look old compared to such targeted, thought-through and meaningful attack, which is only happening to offer the public a glimpse into Jen's sex life. What? Either way, Jen freaks out and gets arrested, but wasn't the whole show built around her controlling her anger and not freaking out? Whatever. Think about it a bit. We need an interesting finale, so it's okay. The most important thing is that it's exciting. So no questions, sit back, relax, and take the time to like this video and subscribe to the channel. The finale is the epic climax of a show that won't soon be forgotten, that's for sure. It's crazy how the audience is being played with. It's just fascinating how reflective the showrunners must have been while writing. Just like that. We have a problem, the show is absolute bull***. We have a real problem, nobody will like it. It's okay, I have a great idea. We just addressed this issue in the final episode. We just act like it's all part of the plan. Like we knew exactly what we were doing all along. But do we really know what we are doing, Kevin?
No. No? Oh, don't cry.
So the finale might seem like chaos at first. Jen gets released from jail, storms the meeting of the hackers, who all turn out to be hater nerd losers, but one of them has injected himself with Hulk blood and is also becoming a Hulk. There's a showdown, Ruffalo Hulk joins in too, and when the whole thing reminds of nothing but a slapstick comedy anymore, Jen just takes a timeout. She literally tells the audience that the whole story sucks and visits the Marvel production writer team, talks to the head producer himself, Kevin, who turns out to be an AI. Jen says it's all bullshit and the story is boring and it's always about these big, typical Marvel finales, and she wants the story to be about herself and not some stupid end fight. And Kevin makes her wishes come true. Jen goes back into the story and everything is changed. There is no end fight, just a happy ending. Well done. Not at all taken the easiest way out without resolving completely loose storylines. Jen also meets Daredevil again and takes him to her family. Second date, and the family is more pushy than any Hollywood paparazzi.
You hear that, Rebecca? His own practice?
The Hell's Kitchen doesn't sound like a very nice area.
And I've always wanted to help the people in my neighborhood who can't afford legal services.
So you don't make a lot of money.
But you do make some money, right? It's very expensive raising kids in L.A.
I did not think the conversation was going that way.
Every conversation is going in that direction, so buckle up.
I'm just visiting.
Why not stay?
And when Daredevil says he's uncomfortable with all of this, Jen says,
Welcome to my life.
Instead of putting a stop to the intrusiveness, which comes across as very charming and further underlines her altruistic character. Oh, and Ruffalo Hulk is coming back, with a son. What, how, where, when, why? What's that supposed to mean now? I hear questioning voices say. We don't know. We'll have to stay tuned for season 2 if we want to find out more. There might even be a spin-off, who knows. We are so excited and happy. I said at the beginning of the first video that after watching She-Hulk, you're a little bit smarter than before. What did I mean by that exactly? You get a completely different view of the world. It's beautifully shown that narcissism and selfishness are virtues to strive for, and that booze in the morning drives away sorrow and worry. Thanks for tuning in. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like and subscribe. See you next time.